A Republican state representative in Wisconsin who was arguing against abortion rights made a pretty awful comparison.
You know, in my veterinary career, I did thousands of ultrasounds on animals, you know, determining pregnancy and that kind of thing. So I think I know mammalian fetal development better than probably anyone here.
That was Representative Joel Kitchens, who said, "Oh, my experience. I was a veterinarian, so obviously that makes me qualified to pass an abortion ban because everything's the same. It's the same. Humans, animals, women, animals, doesn't matter. Same thing. I mean, you do realize that women and cows are different, right? Women and dogs are different. Apparently not. How about dolphin and human fetuses? I know there are some people out there that can't tell them apart, but yes, they are different. They are different in their development. All right, so the ballot referendum, by the way, does not talk about animals. It deals with human women who are pregnant people. Who have agency, are supposed to have agency over their own bodies. But hey, you know what? Look, he's an expert because he's a veterinarian. He's worked on some animals. And you know what? I am an expert plumber because I once unclogged a toilet. That's right. Don't worry. I can fly a plane because I have a driver's license. How hard could it be? It's no different. You're still driving something. Look, this is what women have to deal with. Okay? Unqualified men claiming that they are qualified to control their bodies, to tell them what they can and cannot do with their own bodies. I mean, it's maddening. It's absolutely insane. And by the way, not the first and only person to have made this weird, don't worry, they're just like animals kind of argument. For example, you had Representative Jack Nelson of Idaho. He said that his experience as a lifelong dairy farmer made him an expert on women's reproductive health. He said, "I've milked a few cows, spent most of my time walking behind lines of cows. So if you want some ideas on repro and the women's health thing," yes, the women's health thing, "I have some definite opinions." Because apparently they're the exact same. Then you had Representative Terry England of Georgia back in 2012. He spent years as a farmer and said that if farm animals had to deliver dead, offspring, then women should too. Except, this kills women. This could kill a pregnant person, carrying a non-viable fetus to term. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? But this is not the worst part. It's pretty bad. Okay. Other arguments included using the Bible to justify 88-year-olds being forced to have babies.
I can think of at least three, probably the most well-known women in the Bible, folks you've all heard of, whether you're Christian or not, that certainly would qualify for those things. For example, Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist. Estimates are she was 88 years old when she was told that she was going to have John the Baptist. That was at least one situation where certainly a 88-year-old, it's contrary to her health to be having a baby, and here she is being told she's going to have a baby and being asked by God and being required to do that, and having John the Baptist, arguably the best Christian that's ever lived.
Most women are not forced to get pregnant. The implication in this phrase that restrictions on abortion somehow force someone to become pregnant is, again, a sinister manipulation of language that implies that it is somehow someone else's fault if the choices a woman makes lead to pregnancy. At the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, unless you have been in a tragic situation outside of your control, if a woman doesn't want to become pregnant, there are choices involved in that.
Women who want to be pregnant wannabe mothers can have medical emergencies that endanger their lives, okay? Now, in that case, she is not allowed to get an abortion to save her life, then yes, she is forced to be pregnant against her will. Now she says, well, they're not forced to become pregnant. I mean, outside of those other things, because they've got options. They've got options. Well, what about condoms that break? Birth control that fails? That said, whatever happened to keeping the government out of your personal private life? Not having the government come between you and your doctor. Well, you have doctors out there that are saying, in these cases, you need to have an abortion to save your life. Now, I know she talked about it, well, we've got exceptions for that, except the exceptions don't really work. Those exemptions often fail. They're too vague. That is one of the big problems here with a lot of these anti-choice bills, other than the fact that they're taking away choices from women. And the assumption that they make, and you talk about assumptions, or they do, the assumption is that women are using this as birth control, and that's not the reality. That's not the reality at all. Again, they're talking about women as if they have no agency over themselves, over their own bodies, and cannot make their own decisions. They're not smart enough, intelligent enough to make their own decisions. You know what? That makes them, in their minds, chattel, breeding stock. That's how Republicans are treating them. Now, maybe that's why the veterinarian believes that he is qualified to make these decisions. Because at the end of the day, he doesn't consider women to be human beings.